You ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna call the Central Board of Architectural Review meeting of October 10th to order.
Thank you.
Let's see. Are there any members of the public who wish to address the board regarding an item that is not on today's agenda? That looks like a whopping no. Nobody online?
Nobody online.
Okay, member recusals, do we have any recusals?
Yes, you're number 3.
Number 3 for Mr. Ladd. Okay, agenda status report,
No changes to today's agenda.
okay. The minutes of September 12th. I don't know if anybody has any comments, but, I would like to make a
Okay.
motion. Really quick.
Oh, working on it, sorry.
We don't usually put the minutes up. Yeah, getting the screen going. Yeah, it's a bit of I have no idea how she does it because she sets it up differently than I would. There you go. There it is. Okay. All right, I would like to make a motion to approve, with the following. I don't want to say instruction, but caveat that, a requirement that the missing names for public comment for item number 3 be added
Okay.
before it's put into the record.
Okay.
I abstained because I wasn't here.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Chris.
I abstain as well.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 2 abstentions? Those 2?
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Okay. Motion carries. Yeah, any opposed? No. Unless I can't count anyone.
Stand up.
Okay, informational briefings. Do you have the
Sit down.
schedule for next year yet?
I have a draft. You want me to pull it up?
Sure.
All right, give me a second.
This will be forthcoming, obviously.
Probably I can't every time the mayor came.
Please.
I would lower. Come on, we're just here. Yeah.
This is about the time of year that David sends me the draft for next year's.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Wrong. Thanks, right.
There we go. This is the draft. Here's C-bar.
Is that the official or this come back? So they think
This is draft right now. It'll become official in the next month or so. Yeah. Teresa will send it to us when it's official, but take a note of the dates. Doesn't look like anything is really pushed. July 17th is pushed
I feel like we had this.
and January 16th is pushed.
Oh, I should note that we have a second Zoom account now.
Oh, joy. What?
Yes.
Man, the county popped for a second Zoom account. No more go to meetings.
No, we're getting rid of that. It's like burn the license.
Yeah.
Yeah, like drove a stake in it.
Yeah, okay. So anyway,
I'm pretty neutral about it.
that'll be. Tell us how you really feel there, Clark. Staff update. Do we have Nicole?
Good morning. Yes, I'm here. Couple of items. On November 12th, the County Planning Commission will be holding a hearing, a workshop on the Recreation Master Plan. That might be of interest to your group. And then on December 3rd, actually, I think those are the only 2 items. That's the only item coming up in the next month or so.
What's the first date?
November 12th at the County Planning Commission, Recreation Master Plan Workshop. Yes, so that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Okey dokey. Okay,
Um,
so,
Bethany,
yeah,
I just wanted to bring up something.
absolutely.
As the fire department is working through the standards and paying much more attention
Yes,
to the enforcement of
landscaping and everything else.
landscaping and everything, I think we should be
Paying attention.
paying attention, because it seems like there's a lot of different information flying around.
Yes,
And a lot of things haven't been settled yet. So, but there are still standards, and I'm not sure that all the applicants for the county, you could get pretty far down the road if you're not aware that fire is gonna come in and pretty much drop the boom on you.
yeah. Yeah,
And-
and in some cases it could cause you to go back.
Yeah, so I just
I
think
haven't had one of those yet.
somehow we've gotta figure out a plan to help applicants
Okay.
and also ourselves, so we're not taking up time in a meeting, trying to figure out what's.
Is there a resource that we can look into the new guidelines that they're trying to enforce?
They're
or
trying to put it together. It's a little loose at
It's
this
still
point.
pretty fuzzy, really, if you try and go.
They're
online.
using, I've been referred to things from, various universities to State of Oregon.
Yeah,
to-
it's all over the place.
It's all over the place, and that was just 2 projects.
So I think it's something, it's important, you know, in terms of our resource management, but also we just need to figure out what the heck we're doing.
Does the county archive our meetings for posterity? In other words, can somebody go on and look at a meeting that happened a year ago, 2 years ago?
Yes,
I have a suggestion that might work. When they finally get it straightened out, why don't we ask the fire department to send somebody into one of our meetings
Of
for
course.
20 minutes, half an hour? Give us a brief rundown on how it applies to us,
Mhm.
and then we can give that information out to somebody who says, hey, look at that YouTube from last year. That pertains, or 6 months ago.
And whether it's the fire department or the planning department or whoever it is that is the authority who will be
Yeah,
reviewing it.
Yeah.
I suspect planning will probably send somebody, but
so that would be helpful to all the boards.
Yeah,
yeah, no, that'd be
okay,
excellent.
that's my input,
Okay,
thanks.
Yeah, I-
sorry. to run
just
over
to
you.
chime in, I think that is something we can do. Right now, the fire department on their webpage has published guidelines for like fuel management zone that are already accessible to the public. As you said, those are gonna be changing, but I think the average applicant doesn't even know what the ones are that are on the county fire webpage. And
Right.
one thing, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, one thing that I did speak a little bit with the fire department about recently was the fact that there's a, we had zone 1, zone 2, there's a zone 0,
Yep.
0 to 5 feet, which is,
Yep.
at the minimum, you guys could probably look at projects for that, which is nothing, no vegetation, no.
At all,
not
no
even-
mulch, no
Five-
No
nothing,
flammable mulch, nothing,
no
so,
firewood, no
Yeah.
nothing.
yeah, so at a minimum, we at least, I think, know that's gonna be part of it, so.
Yeah.
That's all, but we can, once it's more settled, we can, have someone come help you.
If you have a 10-foot side yard setback, good luck.
Pretty much, yeah. And the deal for trees, and now they're doing shrubs, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's
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 getting pretty
very-
complicated.
in some ways, and in other ways, once they settle it out, I think most people's reaction will be is, wow, this is really restrictive. I can't put anything within 5 feet of my house. It's my house. Well, yeah, but your house can burn very easily with this kind of stuff. So, yeah, that is the newest thing. Thank you, Nicole, for pointing out the zone 0, because
Mhm.
a lot of landscape architects, I didn't realize they had added that until I was reading the most
Mhm.
recent information.
I got zone 0, I forgot to turn the irrigation on.
Yeah. It's not quite the same thing. Okay, Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Puck. Item number 1, 25 bar, lots of zeros, 22, which is Alamo Pintado LLC exterior changes. Let's see, you have your color board. Yep,
This here.
sure.
So here's our two paint colors. This is Ripe Olive, this is the tasting room. And then this is Sage Crystal. This is the retails building next to it, right? But this is the lighter one, the darker one. Here. What's something here, right here?
Is this also the trim color?
Yeah, so all the.
It's all one body. You
Yeah.
could show us the elevations. I don't know which ones they're in.
Yeah.
It's on the way too, just give it.
Let's see where it might be.
And then you have your different landscape components I see labeled for.
Everyone's favorite. is our gravel.
Whoa,
I brought some for everyone.
nice. Nice recovery.
This is our thermally modified ash. So this is new. This is 2 years in.
Okay.
Where does that go? I'm sorry.
This is the decking.
The deck.
Decking,
And
okay.
then it's.
Oh, in the-
Here and then
Mhm.
this is the anodized black stainless steel that we're using for doors.
Mm-hmm.
And then this will be matching the steel structures.
And what are the railings in the front, like on the second story?
Here, that's wood and that's existing.
And then it's gonna be painted the same.
Yes.
They're gonna
All-
paint the
all
whole thing.
building.
Unlike most people who say, we're gonna paint it all one color, he means it.
Except the roof.
It's a lot cheaper.
It is. Very easy.
Oh, for sure.
You don't have to mask nearly as much, right?
And then here's the stone. So we have two different colors. If you recall from last night, it's all the same stone, just using different applications. So this is the beige color. This will be the front little wall that runs along Alamo Pintado. This is the same stone, just in different application. This will be used for like pavers on the ground.
Okay,
And then this is the other color that goes with it. It's also the same stone, just one is beige, one is gray. This is what the pavers will look like with the chiseled edge.
Windows are the anodized black.
Windows are all wood, so they're just painted to existing. We did not replace anyone.
okay. So that's number 2 from our comments, which is provide a color and materials board, including both a physical board and a PDF, CBAR application for a full list of items required for review. 1 was confirm which fixture types are utilized in lighting plan and omit fixtures that are not necessary in the lighting legend.
We updated that.
That's number 10 there.
So these, if you recall, the ones along the street were different than the ones in the second row. So
Yep.
we just made everything, the pendant lights, they'll all be the same.
Can you go to the next sheet, David, so we can see the fixtures?
Could you talk a little louder? please?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, because this guy
Is your mic-
is partially deaf
Okay.
as a microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, you're pointing right to me, be careful.
I'm not, I'm talking about Al, not Alan.
So there's
Touche.
no pendant lights under the porch.
These are pendant lights in the trees, so they're hanging and they're down, it's all strictly down.
And then where are the ones on the right? That's the red ones.
Down light, can you go back to the last page?
And then the path lights are the greenies.
Just right there, there's only one.
There's
Where does
two.
the
Oh, sorry,
long,
there, in the parking lot.
where does the long skinny one go? Then it, there's. Yeah, that one,
Which one?
the one.
The one on the right, yep, The strip light.
Those-
over there.
Just on the fixed seating,
Oh, under the,
Under the kind of the tables, sort of.
it's underneath.
Oh, cool.
just-
Mhm.
So let's go through the whole lighting plan. then. Okay, next one. These are the decorative walls, okay. Right, so you're doing the whole.
Are all the pendant lights switched together?
I believe, yes,
Go up one more, David.
maybe all of these,
Yeah, and in the
on the right.
side yard too.
Please. Yes, there would be. I mean, these would be one and the street would be one. Sorry. So these would be one and the street would be one.
You need to project. Okay, and,
Can I make a suggestion? Well,
yeah,
after you're finished reviewing that.
go for it.
Well, I would just say that on your pendant lights. How many do you have there? Maybe 50 lights. You might consider. Switching them every other one, so you could, if it's too much light, you could, or put them on a dimmer, you know, where you could tone them down, because
They'll be dimmable.
there's a lot of lights there.
Yeah, I think they're gonna find that it's too much.
But they have to be seating.
Well, it's very party.
So.
They more than that.
And then there was one light on this back building right here that we just took off.
And there is a note that they're all under 2,700 somewhere.
We'll go to the fixtures. Usually it's in the selection and the fixtures for the lamp. When you specify it.
So just make sure that they are.
Okay. You can make that a requirement in the
Mhm.
motion. Okay, let's flip through, start with one, David, and let's just zip through these real quick. Okay. Thank you for breaking apart, Bill. We've seen all these, yep. Two. Yep. This one. Okay. The paving. Anybody have any question on paving?
No,
There's our material board. Okay, perfect, nice picture. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, that's okay, just click agree. I get that all the time. Can you go back one? So if this goes through all the things, is fire gonna have a heart attack if there's zone zero?
no,
Well, they haven't adopted their new rules yet.
we just met
we're
with the
being
fire
required.
department on a project, and they said
We don't care.
Don't do it.
that you cannot do it.
I have been held to these rules. I had to go back and retroactively turn the blue plans. For two projects.
Yeah, they're
They're-
made a pretty sharp turn.
Okay.
Please tell me,
Is that
I want to make sure I get
feet
this.
of the building?
Yeah,
Okay.
All
Somebody had approved
structures.
plans,
All
the
structures.
fire department changed the rules
And you
after
can't grow
that, you wanna
anything
go back
on
and change it? That
no
doesn't sound right.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, so a tree is planted like 10 feet away, but.
In that
if trees, there's special requirements
Yeah, you
for the
have to do
trees
plans.
where they talk
But
about it.
Here's the crazy thing they told us in a
Yeah.
meeting, that you have to show the full growth of the plant. So like a sycamore tree could grow to 40, 50 feet in diameter.
I think that one is, yeah, we'll see what happens. Planning isn't requiring that. They haven't required that
You
yet.
know, but fire
Fire is,
is,
yes. So it'll be interesting to see.
there are a lot of,
It's still
I've
shaking
been
down, but
feeling that.
that zone zero,
just giving
you
me a
should
heart
take a
attack.
look at it.
Okay.
Because, especially on sites like this, that are so constrained and you have very small planting areas scattered widely. it becomes very difficult how you manage it.
Yes.
But for right now,
As
Go
long as
through.
that fire stays 5 feet away, I think we'll be okay.
well. Well, just so you're aware, as you move through the process, you may get this sudden.
Thank you. We're in with fire right now and,
Yeah.
and building, so
Yeah,
should come up if it's going to.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's a biggie. Okay, keep going, David.
Just do gravel mulch. You don't have any mulch.
We're super fun to be around.
Hey, better now.
Just
In 6
let's
months.
flip through quickly.
But it's over.
Right, it's on the maintenance.
Which can.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question,
Yep.
please? Can you just, I probably missed a meeting or two, but can you just review again what your front wall against Alma is gonna look like, or the height of it?
Oh, sure. I think it's on one of the renderings at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very
It's,
beginning.
it's this stone and I believe
Right.
it is 2.5.
Very low.
Very low. And
You,
then,
you couldn't even
it's-
see it in the rendering.
It's 8 feet back.
right, and then there was a question about the Lalande cypress that you were gonna use it for a hedge out in front, was that?
We replaced with a laurel.
It's that one right there.
Yes. It's that.
Okay,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed that meeting. Cause they made a lot of progress and they pulled a bunch of stuff out. And, yeah. We'll go back to number
full-time
11 or 12 already. We did lighting.
He's got them on.
Ignore my text.
Yep. that one's been around.
And the roof is, charcoal?
Yes.
Existing?
It's existing.
It's basically that.
Okay. Yep, to the main 12. And those are the little buildings out back. Okay. Mm. I will make a motion.
Oh, probably fine.
Sorry. Yes, thank you. Got ahead of myself. I think we only have the one item. Do we have any public comment?
If you're online, go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to speak on this item.
You got your thing up there. Cause it's the
I wanna
mouse.
see that.
No hands raised.
Okay, and I don't think we have anybody here. Yeah. Okay, any discussion?
Didn't have it.
Okay, I have, two things, the first is color board, so while, we don't have a specific hard fast rule on the color board, and we do appreciate the size of this, these are samples you can actually look at and get a sense of. We suggest to most applicants that you do two and submit them to the county after your final approval, turn them in. They have to file them, the planner files the second copy, they stamp both, and one goes to the planner and one goes to you and is out on the work site. And what happens is when you lose the one on the work site, there's one already approved and stamped to go out there.
Okay.
That's why we ask for two. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
But if you do, the one that remains with the county has to be fileable.
Okay.
So we suggest that your board, so a lot of applicants will actually do front and back.
Okay.
And then just little pieces.
Okay.
Just put little pieces on and the paint samples. I do appreciate the fact that this was lovely for us today.
Yeah, for you and for the.
Yes. It was perfect, but you can, and when you call out your gravel, you need to call out what it is.
Okay.
You need all the information, so that if I'm standing out on site and haven't seen this before, I know exactly what color Benjamin Moore that is,
Okay.
if it's Benjamin. And I know what the wood is, and I know, all that stuff, so that it's all spelled out and completely, manufacturer and their number and all that kind of good stuff. The gravel, 3/8, whatever it is. Palm Springs, but whatever, or if it's a mix, you get it, so that it's very specific. Okay, so that's the first requirement in my motion. And then the second thing is, who had the comment about?
2,700.
Yeah, the 27, the lighting. So your lighting needs to be specified in such a fashion that the temperature of the bulbs are 2,700 Kelvin.
Okay.
Okay, for the lamps.
Okay.
All right. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Congratulations.
They might no longer have all the.
So Bethany, those are just follow up with Francisco.
Yes,
Okay.
the planner will confirm those items.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 1, Buttonwood Ranch LLC. In the comments from before, while everybody's getting ready and everybody's leaving. In keeping with ensuring that openings are accurate from a functionality perspective, provide floor plans for tasting room and bar. The materials are appropriate for the area. The design is more consistent with the historic nature of the architecture than the prior design, and the design is cleaner. 3, provide more developed landscape plans at the next meeting. So there's 2 things we're looking at, mostly for landscape and floor plans.
Great, thank you. I believe Tony, the architect's online, and Jay, the landscape architect.
Yes.
You addressed it. Perfect.
Yeah, hi, this is Tony Schoenhart with Anacapa Architecture. I'll go ahead and begin walking us through those comments. As Brett said, I'm also joined with Jay Warner, our landscape designer, to address the first point. So we've further developed our technical drawing sets. We've included existing and proposed plans, elevations, and sections. So if you'd like, we could begin with the tasting room to address kind of the proposed openings as they relate to the plans. If you, yeah, we can go ahead and flip through just the context photos as seen in our previous review here. And then if we go to A081, that will be the tasting room. And as noted during our last review, the floor plans are remaining the same. We're not intending to have interior improvements. It's just an exterior project, essentially. And so things of note, I think, from our last meeting are the existing pergola outside is not adequately providing shade from that western sun. There's a temporary measure in place today that we're hoping to improve. As noted during our conceptual review, we'll be adding a roof there to help improve that western shading, and then also provide covered access to that outdoor restroom at the page north. So other than that, we're proposing 2 new doors. So replacing the single door with a double door at the entry, and then just kind of cleaning up the windows there. If we'd like, we could jump to the proposed elevation and plan, if that would be helpful for the tasting room.
Scroll down as we go. Yeah.
Sure. So if we want to go to A101, we can also see that. So here you can see just the proposal. Plan is the same. Just proposing a double door entry. And then here's our updated roof plan. Moving down to the lower ag barn, just addressing kind of the relationship between the proposed openings and the interior. It's a very open interior floor plan, which is, as intended. And so we can see the man doors, page north. We are introducing 2 new, I'll try to mark it here so it's easier to see. 2 new barn doors just for easier access and kind of to go with that more agrarian look on the end. And then again, reintroducing these larger openings, barn doors here. Again, for ease of access for storage and materials. We did address the size. So we've updated the size of these doors here. That was one of the comments that I believe Andrew made from our last meeting. So those are a little bit more functional at this point in time.
Okay,
Let's see. Other than that, if we want to go to the elevation, which is on page
That's the-
203, 202, sorry. Yeah, 202. So here you can see, just keeping with that same aesthetic, so exposed hardware, large barn doors have been updated. So we're replacing those smaller previous stall door openings to make this more functional. It's no longer going to be used for an equestrian stables. So that is kind of the whole point here. And now we're just developing it to show all elevations, where previously we just showed the Alamo Pintado elevation. If we want to move on to the next page here, you can see similar treatment with the upper ag barn. Again, just indicating openings and direction of operation here. Same material palette as for the lower agricultural barn, which we'll get to when we get to page A901. Next page. These are just some sections, preliminary sections through the building. No major updates. You can see the interiors all remain the same. And then possibly if we want to move to A901, we can just look at the materials quickly. So here, as you can see, this is for that large winery building at the upper portion of the site. So that same material palette presented previously. And then again, the lower portions utilizing these nice natural materials and very agrarian materials as we previously viewed. So a quite consistent palette across those buildings, the outlier being the larger wine production building. And with that, maybe I'll hand it over to Jay to walk us through our landscape improvements, unless there's any additional questions.
at this time, let's
Okay.
keep rolling.
Great, thank you.
I'd say just, yeah, there you go.
Thanks. Morning, everyone. My name is Jay Warner, landscape architect here. You know, for this next pass, we're real conceptual the last phase, just to make sure the high level moves stuck. You know, trying to gain or create flow and access for the tasting room, create a usable space in the front and the back of the existing structures there. So for this next phase, we thought it would be best just to really just jump right into the planting plan, since it's really more softscape is really what we're doing back here. We thought this would be the most beneficial to really kind of paint the picture for what we're doing. I think, high level, like we talked about last time, it was really about trying to get the parking lot out of that front of that building to get that layering of the landscape in. Access now can come around and swing out as it always has been, but now we've get, a lot more layering in the front. The big move was to kind of bring the natural, like you see on the back side of the property, forward. So we've got these seasonal grasses with drifts of perennials kind of coming through that front elevation of the space, with more intentional planting kind of building up as you get closer. Things that stick around a little bit longer, a little bit more color and so forth. And then slightly more lusher in and around the courtyard, still, all Mediterranean or native plants, and still kind of keeping that informal look and feel, these loose informal edges coming right up to that gravel. And one thing that we tried to focus on, just based on some of the comments prior, was making this connection a little bit stronger visually, just from coming off the patio, trying to invite you from that tasting room. There's already this kind of parting in the planting, this natural path right there. So that's really where we're kind of increasing or focusing our threshold to invite you out to this space as well. So we've got the high level plan here where we threw in some the actual plant images, the actual plants, quantities, and so forth, and some zoomed in ones to get a little bit more
What
detail.
scale is this drawing?
It's hard to see down there. 16th scale.
Okay.
And the next two are, I think, 8th scale. Looks like the call out's
okay.
wrong, incorrect. Yeah.
Because I didn't see sorry, I was looking for a graphic scale on the north arrow, so
Gotcha.
I see it now in the title block, yeah, okay,
Can add those in.
always helpful. Yeah. You wanna go, there another. Yeah, that's just close up.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you were here earlier, we were talking about the fire department requirements with the 5 foot. The zone 0, I don't know if you were here for that.
I heard that. Yep.
Yeah, so just be aware that you're probably gonna have to kind of focus around your building a little bit about.
Yeah.
You,
And that's easy to pull off with this
oh
look.
yeah, no, I know it is, I know it is.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure you were here for that, okay, next David. Yeah, are you doing anything around the tasting room?
We're enhancing, a lot of the vegetation looks good, but we're trying to pull a little bit, like drift some of the new plants across where there's current bald spots just to further tie it in. But right now, the tasting room, it's working for us, so we're leaving it.
That's it, okay. Any questions?
I just had, a question. What are those, linear forms in the
Those are seat
courtyard?
walls. We had images of them in the last round. We've pictured just like informal seating that people could come out. We can either anchor like visually a table and create seating next to them, or just informal seating. And it's just kind of a nice way to tie in and landscape, like the planting and the gravel together. Add
So
interest.
there's like sandstone or something?
We've pictured board form, like real agrarian, and yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, the bottom one down there,
Is that a grill?
yeah.
It's more of just a counter space, just for flexible area,
So no grill.
no plans for a grill.
Okay, looks like a grill.
Yeah,
But,
sorry, just
Well,
hinted to add like a flex, just counter. Yeah.
and then I'm just trying to understand, it says new parking, right? Is that parking in the upper part of the courtyard? What does that say?
New DG paving.
Oh, paving, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Having trouble with the font.
Yeah.
We old people here, or
Yeah.
at least I am.
Yeah.
Jay, could you go back to the site plan, yeah. So is there an existing access way kind of paralleling Alamo Ventado?
Right now, it's kind of a desire path, I'd call it. It's all just dirt out there, but there's a
Yeah.
track that really does this, like that people have driven on over the years, and I think people just informally park right out here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
used to
trying to
be
get
orchard.
the cars
Be a
out and
what?
away.
Orchard, yes.
Yeah, the orchard is kind of scraggly, kind of now, right?
It's gone.
It's gone, okay.
Yeah, it's all dirt right
It's just
now.
very grassy, dirty kind of.
And then do you think, that I guess that would be the south side is there, will you guys have parking there, like staging trucks and stuff?
This area, we're just leaving it how it is. It's historically just kind of been a corp yard. It's kind of their, there's old wine barrels and trucks and all sorts of things back there. So it's really to just keep it back a house, was kind of the goal, to really focus any kind of guest experience from the tasting rooms into these two zones.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Any
Yeah.
other questions? Public comment?
Would like to speak on this item, raise your virtual hand and I'll call on you. No hands.
Okay. They're here for preliminary review. Anybody want to start?
I just have one comment about
Yep.
the cedar. there's a relatively new project or site over on Roblar in the Los Olivos area that uses cedar. And it's very, very bright, I would say. It's not, the buildings really sort of jump out at you because the cedar is new and I'm just not sure. It's been a couple of years now. And I'm just wondering
You're
how
talking
long
about
it's,
Robar Winery?
no,
ones that are on-
the equestrian
Oh,
Yeah,
facility, and it's got the big
so
fence.
it's not finished on the cedar.
Right, and so I was just wondering about the finish on this, if it was going to be sort of pre-aged a little bit to tone it down a little bit. Cause I think the west elevation will be pretty bright.
Is that a question for comment, Buck, or is that just a comment?
That's just my comment
Okay.
in the comment period.
Okay. So for the applicant, the distinction is that we've asked our questions and so now we're doing our deliberation. And so my board members are gonna make comments and it's just gonna go into the minutes as comments. And then when we see you again, you'll have an opportunity to address them. So we're not soliciting input from the applicant as a question at this point. So, okay, so that's it. Anybody else? Denise, I know you have something to say.
No, I just, I know that the buildings don't really quite have a program yet. They're sort of a venue. So and this is just a comment, because it's kind of set up as a venue and, but without knowing what the programming is, it's for me hard to understand like the seat walls and the seating and whatnot. So, I guess that's just a comment.
Okay.
I'll make a comment. As far as the courtyard, I think that to me, it looks a little, well, it was referenced as a parking area. So to me, it looks a little difficult to get through there with a vehicle if you're gonna have seating and planting and bench.
I don't think that the interior courtyard there is not parking
Not gonna be-
at all.
it's on the back.
It's on the back.
No parking. Yeah, parking stays here for any guest. This is really just operations
Yeah.
like it is now. No guests should even come through this way. Or
In a
this way.
vehicle.
Correct.
Right, okay. All right. I don't have any more comments. I thank you for providing the floor plans and everything. You're going to need to address the landscape in the, you know, conforming to the zones. We're gonna need to know, your quantities and sizings and what you're gonna do. It looks like that's a C. No, that's drip. So for your meadow, you need to specify where the plants are gonna go. Break down that list, or if it's gonna be seed and then with appropriate irrigation and, so you've got some choices here to make. It looks like, but you're well on your way for that, so just go ahead and, yep,
And, can we see a lighting plan yet?
no.
So, I just think these sort of big open spaces and, can be a little challenging. So anyway, we'll see a lighting plan down the road.
Well, they're here for preliminary, so, we need to decide what action we wanna take and what we need to see. And how we want them to return. So yes, we'll need a landscape lighting plan. If you're not going to propose any lighting in there, that's fine, it's just depending on what you want to do, but you need to make some decisions with regard to the landscape.
I mean, the default always seems to be that there's no lighting and then string lights go up that stay up forever.
Yeah,
unless somebody complains.
Yeah,
So
so.
there we go.
So, yeah, so we'd like to see that. How do we want to see them come back? Does anybody want to make a motion for preliminary?
I'll make a motion for preliminary.
Okay,
Second.
second, okay. All in favor?
I,
Okay, so, so you've got a big list there for your final. Cause this is there's a lot left open here, even though we gave you preliminary.
So full board?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely
Yeah.
full board, yeah. Okay, item number 2. 25 bar 00088, Posado Qualified Domestic Trust patio cover.
why are we seeing a patio cover? So there's a design overlay zone?
Mm-hmm.
Were you wondering why it was on here?
Why is it on here?
Because when they have done lot splits from time to time, they slap on a design overlay that anything in this lot splits. had to
I think when
go
you
to-
look at it, you'll.
So we have a planner memo on this one. As of yesterday afternoon.
Ah. This is for SY Kitchen.
Oh,
Okay, we'll come back.
Now it makes more sense?
We'll come back to that.
No, it was.
oh, is it the existing cover?
Yes, it's set up.
We're changing it
It's-
from plastic to.
Flipping from page to page
Yeah.
faster.
And it's one of the.
Why is that?
Looks like
Why is
it's-
that?
Yeah,
It looks like the pages have been separated.
Yeah.
So you're not checking.
So, it's the first time we've seen this project, so you're here, Brett? Long time no see. Okay, walk us through it.
Brett Marchie, I'm the architect representing SY Kitchen. And we're here today to get approval or preliminary for 2 patio expansions that happened during COVID.
Go ahead and go back.
And they're in shaded areas, one's in the very front and one's hidden in the back. The structure is really simple, it's a post and beam wood trellis. And they're covered with corrugated fiberglass panels. And then there's string lights on underneath for illumination. And that's it. They're very simple. Everything represented on the drawings is there now. So it's kind of a backwards submittal, but the only new thing happening is a trash enclosure on Manhattan. And that's it. So all the lighting you're seeing here, except the string lights, are existing and have been there for a long time. And that's pretty much it.
I'd like to add one point for clarifications. Patio 3, which is in the back, the approval is for the patio itself, the patio dining, as well as.
The whole
cover,
thing.
the Whole thing. And then patio number 2 was pre-existing, so what you're looking at there is simply.
Just the cover.
Just the cover.
And the trash enclosure is where?
Is off to the left on Montana.
It's right here.
Ah.
Where the restrooms and stairwell are, that leads to that.
Yep.
So the front patio has a bamboo ceiling, but on top of that, there's fiberglass.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, Angela James with Jones Land Use Planning.
Scroll down. Okay.
I have a quick question, Brett.
Yes.
The fiberglass panels, because I've been there and I don't remember when you look up, are they solid? Are they translucent?
They're translucent, but there's a bamboo.
Oh, yeah.
there's that stuff.
That's covering it. So you can't really see it.
And this, is it gonna be the same on the new one
In
or
the back.
on both
Patio
sides? I
They're
mean,
both the same, yeah.
Mhm.
do you have to pitch it significantly for?
Because of leaves.
They're sloped to drain, yeah.
Looks like what, it's it's the low slope,
Yeah, somewhat flat.
3-in-1 or 3-12. The slope on the covers, is it, what is it about?
You know, I would say it's between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It's really flat.
Almost flat.
No, no worries.
But it
but
works.
just
Enough to
curious.
get the water out,
It's
right?
working.
It's worked so.
No, but that's-
The thing is the less the slope, the less you see of it, and, you really can't see the back patio unless you're standing in the parking lot of the building behind it.
Yeah. There.
And you can see the front patio is completely covered by the olive trees.
And so I'm just assuming since these string lights are under a solid cover,
Mhm.
they are not part of they don't trigger any night sky thing.
No, it's already,
It's already covered.
you know,
Yeah.
It's already covered.
And the other one that's clearly showing a bulb kind of hanging out.
Go back.
Is that even part of the project?
Where's that?
That's the wall
That's the
mount.
mounting.
That's the wall mount.
Oh,
Yep.
never mind.
No bulb.
Good. So anyway, the night sky stuff is fine.
Yeah, the lighting is really subdued there. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've been there and seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Flash light to get in there.
Okay.
Okay.
The bamboo keeps it really comfortable in hot days too.
I just didn't want it to like pop up and
Yeah, later.
later and throw you into another thing.
He's here for conceptual and preliminary review. Any more questions?
Yeah, the photometric, and it's super low
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that in.
I'll make a motion for,
Well, we gotta do public comment.
but I appreciate the speed.
Yes, I do too. It's not like I didn't do it earlier in the meeting, right?
Again, if you're online, you'd like to speak on this item, raise your virtual hand. No hands.
And that we have nobody here in the other, no, okay. All right, discussion? I don't think we have any further discussion. How do you want to see it returned?
Consent.
Okay, and Puck, you want to go ahead and
I'll make a
reiterate
motion for
preliminary?
preliminary.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
I,
Right.
Okay. Which of you two is voting today?
On which
Okay.
item?
He is recused, right?
he's the piece on the next one.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Oh, it's okay.
right. But Lowell is voting.
Yeah, I'll vote on the.
And then Alan will vote on the
Affirmative,
last one,
too.
when Lowell's recused.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never been back.
Just FYI, thanks, Lowell. Usually I'm handy enough to ask at the beginning of the hearing whose turn it is.
I'm not sure if that's gonna, you're actually gonna see that in the vote, but it wouldn't in this, but yeah. No, that's a good question to ask.
Do you want me to stick around for the review of the minutes?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, so, thank you, Brett.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Item number 3, 25 bar 87 Grand Hotel LLC.
Can I make a suggestion?
Oh, I didn't call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, Brett, before you leave, can we discuss the minutes
Okay.
now, the first two items, because he's got nothing to do with the third. There's no-
I have a lot of people waiting. for public
Okay,
comment.
you're good? Okay, okay.
I see. It's on.
Why is it that? Can't see on the other one. Okay,
This was complicated.
okay,
I wish these were bullet points.
Gotcha.
okay. I think we all know where it is. So what's happening with the vicinity map? What's that second, I guess that gets to be the third upper left? Red. What's it say? I cannot read that. Yeah, the one up in the corner.
Recreation open space?
Okay,
I'm excited.
is that what that says?
I'm sorry, I can't read either.
Yeah. It's the park.
This is right out of the county GIS interactive
the-
map.
Okay,
Some of the labels are
it's just the
It's
park.
Lavinia Campbell
background
Park.
information.
Right, it's the little park there. All right, okay. I was just. What are we looking at? All right, so you wanna go ahead and,
Sure. Good morning, everybody. My name is Melissa Turner. I'm here with Design Arc, the associate and senior project manager. Here also with Mark Shields, partner and designer for the project. Can everybody hear me okay?
yeah,
I want to check my voice for the audio.
you do.
Oh, boy.
So
Okay.
you need to speak with authority.
I can try my best. We're very excited to be here today. We've been working on this project for a little while. And I was just gonna give you a brief overview and then turn it over to Mr. Shields to talk more about the architecture. So if you zoom in maybe on that vicinity map where the red areas are, just a quick update. The parcel that we're primarily gonna be talking about today is the site to the east of the hotel. You see there's a 2-lot parcel, parcel 5 and 6. There's currently a voluntary lot merger for those to be.
Point to
Sorry.
it. Would you point to it on
Oh,
screen,
sure.
please?
There, these two sites. And then, of course, the existing hotel is to the west.
Okay.
If you go to the site plan next, please, on page 7 of that PDF. I probably don't need to go through the context photo since everybody's familiar with the area, but if you'd like me to, I can go back to it. The proposed project is an expansion building to the east of the hotel behind the alley, a makeup of 17 rooms. I know the agenda says 18, but we've lost one since. Roughly about 14,000 square feet of building area and 9 parking spaces located to the north, taking access off of the alley off Hollister. There's one accessory structure, the 250 square foot bike storage for 20 spaces. And as far as the new small addition on the existing building that's on the southeast corner, if you can point to it, you can also walk over right here. That's roughly 1,400 square feet for some new breakfast room and some back of house kitchen area for the hotel operation. The project meets the 15,000 square foot threshold on impervious surface total between the 2 parcels. We're in the tier 2. And our fire access and all zoning land use designations are being met. I know neighborhood compatibility is a big topic here, and between the agrarian architecture and know that you'll see, Mark will talk about that a little bit more. But we believe that we've met all of the San Ynez community plan consistency on light, noise, and being respectful towards our neighbors with good screening and planting. And I'll talk a little bit more. Unfortunately, Scott Capps from EPT couldn't be here today, but I have his notes and I'll do my very best to cover them as much as I can. I'm gonna play around here a little bit, but if you could please go to the renderings PDF, the second one over. I think Mark wants to talk more about the 3D models first, and then we can flip back over to the elevations for more details.
Good morning, I'm Mark Shields with Design Art. With Melissa with backup our proposed project. And I want to say that we're passionate about this project. Grew up in Santa Barbara and always visited the valley and Los Olivos, and I understand the vernacular here, you know, the kind of country Victorian / agrarian barn kind of feeling. And so overall, in general, that's kind of direction we took the hotel. It's 2 stories again across the street from the
original inn. And could you blow up the photo in the upper left?
Which one? Upper left.
I think these renderings are actually really helpful and indicative of what we're trying to accomplish. Overall, the massing is 2 stories. We have vaulted ceilings with the truss system. The architecture is, I like to call it kind of country agrarian. It has as many aspects of San Ynez and Los Olivos that I'm very fond of. The front porch idea, this is actually entry to the lobby of this new hotel. And we're using a combination of materials, primarily hardy siding, painted, both vertical siding like 1x6 and 1x8, and a combination of horizontal siding. Some of it is painted sort of dusty gray. Other areas we're painting it white. The roof is corrugated galvalume, which is kind of a dull, kind of oxidized patina. That actually matches the existing hotel in the corner. So we have elements of this project that relate to the old hotel, but we're also kind of heading off in a new direction. Slightly cleaner architecture, simpler in many ways than the corner building. But we're also trying to relate this project to the existing hotel with an alley of trees. If you could back up a bit and we can find that illustration. These other photos are more about the hotel. If you could go to the next page.
It's on page 4.
Okay. We were really concerned about how the hotel matches up to the existing hotel. And so the upper left corner, if you can blow that up, that photo. Beyond down this alley of London plane trees, there are planter boxes, and then this new facade, which we're changing slightly on the old building. This is in direct axis to our new entry on the eastern property. And we've created a strong connection from one parcel to the other, which I think will be really exciting. It goes past the existing courtyards in the new hotel and dead ends directly into the new entry. So we're trying to create this connection between the two, because obviously there's a restaurant in the old building that we want the new guests to visit comfortably. Also, this building has a similar kind of architecture in terms of this facade to the building we're proposing. And go back to the overall views again. We think that LA connection is super exciting. You can look at that on, I'd like to point that out again on page 8101. You could go to 8101. That connection is here. So we're remodeling this facade and then connecting it through to the new here. So we think that's super exciting. We're crossing the alley and we are remodeling a little bit up here. We're adding a few square footage, but feet of office with a conference space and lobby lounge. But all of that is built underneath the existing eave of the hotel, so we're not adding more structure. What else can I say about this? I want to say that planning wise, we've varied the exterior of the building with undulating masses in and out. Here is the front porch, the country front porch, the lobby. Parking, we've respected the existing beautiful oak tree here as well as this big sycamore. We are removing 4 oaks, but we're mitigating them with, I think, 6 new oaks, which we can show you on the landscape plan. But the hotel and footprint kind of undulates in and out, so it's not just a wall of architecture. It's got a lot of variety in massing. And by doing that, we've created some private spaces. There's another outdoor space off the library here. These rooms have outdoor spaces. And all the way around on the east, south, and mostly east and south, we have these really nice outdoor spaces, the community front porch. And on the backside and north side where the parking is, we have the building very, I guess, again, the facade varies a bit. We have some nice landscaping. And on this side, we have balconies. So those upstairs room have a nice view of to the north of San Ynez and Los Olivos.
What's the building in the upper right-hand corner? What is that?
This is trash enclosure. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Then what's the other one there?
This is bike storage. Over time, Mike was saying that the hotel has hosted a lot of groups that bring large groups and have their own bicycles.
They do.
That's what that is. You could go to, let's see, which page. LA. You could go back to A5. On the right side. Okay, I spoke to you about the entry and the massing of the building in general. This is the southern elevation showing the in and out of the facade, this private courtyard off the library, kind of country front porches coming off the building. The two-story elements here are country sort of barn. That's our kind of pulling on that, you know, to make it slightly more modern, but it's the vernacular that we love. And so these upper rooms have balconies. Going around, go to the next slide, please. This is the eastern elevation. Again, we're changing the colors of the building, which I think really kind of sets off the massing. Love that. Our trees are relatively in the same position, although this is a giant sycamore here that's existing. It's beautiful, they're keeping. The front entry, which is off the LA, is also white. Yeah. And then we're adding the lobby. We have a stone structure that's the native San Ynez stone. And then the chimney is the horizontal siding, that's the hardy panel painted white. This is the back side of the property, which is the north side, which is really just off the parking. And there we have our permeable parking area. And then again, 2 stories, nice big windows. So the views downtown are pretty great. So we want to enhance that. We love the idea of introducing some of the small Mexican sage or lavender along the low parts of the property, some low hedges. We have Scott's list of plants to read off at some point. I guess we will. Let's see. Go to the next page, which is A503. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing to the existing hotel. Again, we're adding to the conference area here, just underneath this existing porch. And over here, a little addition, it's about, I don't know, 100 square feet here, so not much. We're changing the landscape of the front and for the restaurant, creating more of a direct, obvious approach to where the restaurant is. And we're changing the front entry so that it's a little bit more obvious. It's never been clear because people tend to wander to the restaurant instead of the front entry, so we're trying to fix that. But again, really maintaining the same architectural style that's existing. Again, we're introducing our colorful Mexican sage in front. We go to page 601.
Material board PDF.
Thank you. The architecture we're using prefabricated trusses on the second floor, so we have vaulted ceilings on the second floor on the interior of the rooms, which I think would be really nice. The existing hotel enjoys that feeling as well, so we're trying to kind of relate the two interiors that way. Our materials again are local San Ynez stone veneer for the lobby. Some areas, especially in the front on the country porch entry, we have the board form concrete planters. And this is the vertical siding, which is hardy panel painted. Same, we're switching to horizontal siding, hardy panel painted. The Galvalume corrugated metal roof. Our permeable pavers will be cobble style. And some of our concrete porches are precast, interval color concrete. These are the proposed colors: coal miner for the gray, Swiss coffee for white, and we're going with white aluminum clad exterior windows. Anything to add, Melissa? I think that sums up the.
It might be good to go to the roof plan and
Okay.
show our mechanical
Good
work.
idea.
It's always a point of concern.
What page is that? Oh, that's good stuff right there. That's great. We've gone to great pains to hide mechanical condensers are all up on this in the center of the project. They're surrounded by like 6-foot parapet walls, so you'll never see any of the mechanical. All the lighting, of course, will be, we don't have cut sheets of that yet. We haven't really quite gotten there, but for sure will be night sky lighting, of course. So very low key. And again, pretty excited about the project. We think it fits in super well in Los Olivos, and waiting to hear what your response may be. Melissa, do you have something to add?
I'm gonna read some of the notes from,
I'm
the
sorry.
landscape architect, that's
Yeah,
okay. If
fair
we
enough.
go to the landscape, yeah.
Yeah, Scott can't be here because he just had a kid and he's on leave for.
Couple more notes, so we have 4 oaks that are being removed, those are highlighted on the towards the bottom of the southern portion of the site. One valley oak along the north property line that is being impacted, that we're trying to mitigate. There'll be decorative gravel in this area primarily, that is also a zone where the septic leach field will be. So there'll be a combination of permeable paving and gravel, primarily mostly gravel. Mark talked a little bit about, if you can go to the next page, please. Landscape concept, so while we're updating all of the landscaping on the new expansion, it was also a good opportunity to do the same for the front entry along Grand Avenue as it wraps around along Hollister, and then of course is very prominent linkage between the east and west building on the array of trees. Some of the outdoor patio and courtyards.
Just, whoa, slow down just a second. While we're here, can you tell us where the leach field is?
It's located in the parking lot area.
In number 8 there, okay?
And there will be proper setbacks both from the property line and also from building structures. We're currently in conversations with EHS and have had favorable comments from them thus far.
Okay. Okay,
But
so
of course, the goal is.
can we go back to the trees, the ones that are gonna be removed?
Yes, you can go back to the tree,
It's that
the
position.
position plan. Yeah. The
Which
4
4
oaks are located here.
Those 4?
Yep.
And
that's the sycamore.
that's the sycamore, and then what else have we got?
And then there's some other miscellaneous trees of various sizes. There's some cedar and smaller other specimen trees that I don't remember all. off the top of my
Okay,
head.
it's okay, it's okay.
The landscape plan is shown here in concept, but as you move further along in the set, we've got a planting plan on sheet L3. That's a cool. Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. I'm not gonna read everything that's on that sheet, but I'll just give you an overall. The planting plan is driven mostly by the modern agrarian architecture, with plantings selected to complement the clean white walls and provide a soft textured backdrop to the guest experience. The plant species will be a mix of California natives and other regionally adapted species, with the majority of plants being low to very low water use. The new street trees along Grand Avenue that are being proposed are magnolias, matching the existing street trees that are on the west side of Grand Avenue. Again, this is all to try to amplify and embellish the approach to the property, which is a little bit confusing at the moment. And then we talked about the 6 valley oaks that are being proposed as mitigation measures for the oaks being removed or impacted by construction. Currently, Scott is showing 3 36-inch box and 3 60-inch box oaks to try to get to a more 1-to-1 ratio. And you've got a arborist report that's in the draft right now. We're updating it based on recommendations from our geotech engineers, and that will be provided by the town back here for preliminary approval. And we're here for questions. Thank you so much for your time.
15 gallon, but if you've got a constructed site, you can use large.
It's negotiable, so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Any questions from the board?
I do have a quick question, the London plane tree spacing, approximately, in those boxes, what are they spaced, do you think?
More time in the
The-
whole circle might irritate.
Right there, number 5, the London, it's the London.
The
Plains.
alley, the spacing, distance.
On the
between-
LA,
The tree spacing,
I think the tree spacing is about 12 feet.
On the-
Looks a little tighter.
On the project description, there was an enclosure of a 240 square foot porch. Where is that on the,
Is that the remodel?
yeah, I think it must be on,
That's up here.
It's a combination of 2 areas total.
This is covered, but we're actually enclosing,
you're gonna
filling
enclose
it
it,
underneath.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Where's if there's another place, where's the other place? I just heard it's a combination. Where's the other location then?
In terms of,
The porch area.
this was a porch, this was an old porch, we're expanding into that porch for this conference room. And then here again, we're adding that space to kind of recreate the lobby experience, which is kind of clarifying the lobby, which was never very clear before. We're actually rearranging the signage on the eave above to help guests arrive at the front door versus going to the restaurant.
Yes, please.
Melissa or Mark, is that number 8, is that there's something in the civil plan that says open graded gravel. Where does that happen? Is that there?
That's here, we have this beautiful oak too we're protecting, and this is where the leach fields are, so this will be all gravel, permeable parking.
With the exception of where we have accessibility for the ADA stall and
The handicap
accessibility to the stall itself. We likely may need to increase some of the permeable paving sections closer to the building site so we can have access to the trash. That's not shown yet in the landscape plan.
And it's just gravel, right? Or does it have the cells or anything? Just gravel?
It's just gravel.
Yeah.
Because the goal is to minimize also any over-X and grading and disturbance of the around our tree.
You mentioned that all the mechanical was going to be enclosed, which is great.
Yeah,
Um,
preparing that.
What about roof vents for bathrooms and that kind of thing?
We'll
How
put
are
those
you-
on the backside where we can. Luckily, we've got these gable roofs, and this is one of our practices anyway. We don't want to see the bathroom vents on the facade. So we'll put them wherever we can behind the ridge.
Okay, I'd like
and
those,
gang them.
I'd like those shown on the elevations as things progress.
It's pretty detailed, but we can do that.
Sorry, you really see those things jumping around up there and it kind of
If you could go to the
makes an impact.
architectural-
Well, do you have any other questions before we get into the discussion?
I do, I have another. You guys are switching out the landscaping along Grand to be really simpler, is that right?
Yeah.
It's so pretty the way it is now, so what was the reasoning to change it out?
It's more to delineate the site. Right now, that if you look at the site plan and the approach to the property, it's not very well. it's a little distorted.
Wayfinding, as far as the wayfinding,
Yes.
you're addressing it with
And
that.
also part of it is to tie into what's happening in the new building, so they don't look completely like two different pallets of planting. It would look a little odd if we didn't start to carry and sprinkle a little bit of some of that, along the front as well as matching some of that.
I'm just curious, do they have problems with maintaining it?
No.
But
I think what was the highlight here, and the favorable comment, was that the hardscape and landscape, would be embellished, not so much ripping apart everything that's there. So I think there will be still some of the same notes that you see now.
Well, the hedge is really a strong.
Yeah.
Thank you.
While we're on this plan, this is showing your proposed landscape. Is that the intent here?
It's conceptually, yes, but I would defer back to Scott's, actual planting plan for all the.
Yeah, because he's added, well, there's a lot of trees, along that frontage, and one of his oaks is right in front of that, where that flagpole
The
is.
oak is right about here,
It's actually a little to the right, but yes, it's right there.
here. Yeah.
No, your other
No,
right.
it's to It's closer to
Sorry.
the flagpole, but yes.
Set away.
Yeah,
Yeah, these renderings were done slightly ahead of Scott's.
no, I'm not trying to pick you apart. I'm just pointing out that
Things are.
the whole facade is covered with trees, and then
Yeah.
that's a replacement, one of the replacement
Yeah.
oaks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's always a contest between trying to show the.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes we also feather them in, and of course, by the time we come back next.
And then, of course, if you put them all in, we'd go, why aren't you showing us the building, right? So, no, I get it, but it's, with what you're doing. You had any more questions?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm gonna wait for comments.
Okay, public comment? Okay,
Good, speak to the-
so, speaker slips are up there in that little bay. Please pass those out to anybody who's in the audience. I'm just gonna, before I get into what our purview is, I'm going to suggest that if you are a member of the public, even if you're not sure whether you want to talk or not, fill out the speaker slip. Because once I have all my speaker slips, I'm just gonna go through them. And if you're not up here, I can't call you. So go ahead and fill out your slips. The purview of this board, this is an interesting place. We had this happen last month too, because we had a project, we had a lot of people show up who really wanted to know what was going on. And there's this feeling that it's gonna happen tomorrow. It's not. So this is the first public hearing. For big projects, the first public hearing occurs at one of the BARs usually. And so people get noticed and they come, and we like it when people come. But our purview is actually rather restricted. We deal with, buildings, the design, the layout. We don't deal with programming except as it affects site planning, connections, landscape, very much so architecture, and those kinds of things. Okay, so that's what we're looking for here. Comments on neighborhood compatibility, how the buildings, what the buildings look like, how they interact with their surroundings, all those kinds of things. This project, I'm almost positive we're gonna go to planning commission. Yeah. So, the way this will get reviewed in front of this board is that, we have 3 levels of review, conceptual review, preliminary, and final. What'll happen is that we will take this project to the point where we would feel comfortable granting preliminary approval. At that point, we don't take the action, but at that point is when it goes to the planning commission. The planning commission will take their action, and then it will come back to us, and then we'll move forward with ours. So there's a lot of things, a lot of wheels are turning kind of in motion. There's the planning department is reviewing this. And that's in tandem with our review. And then, of course, the planning commission gets involved. And so now we have all these integrating parts that are working together. The planning commission is, got a much broader scope, so they're concerned with events, with, parking requirements, with, hours of operation, with, to a certain extent, noise. We're concerned on a much more micro schedule, like I said, we're looking at visuals, we're looking at design, we're looking at some neighborhood compatibility and those kinds of things. Within that, though, we do look at some of the lighting, so we can get quite detailed, because we'll be looking at irrigation, we'll be looking at all those kinds of things. So, we have 2 speaker slips, okay. So what I'll do is I'll call your name and we'll give you about 3 minutes. You can please come up here behind Alan, to the little podium we've got here. And just go ahead and, it's your 3 minutes. You can talk about issues that go before the planning commission or planning if you want. But to help us with our decision and our findings, if you can focus your comments with regard to our purview, that's greatly appreciated. Okay. Also, if you wish to be noticed and you haven't received notice, you can always contact the planner, which is Lauren Kringle here on the agenda. And they'll get you on a list, and then you will get emails for any of the public hearings. So you could be noticed directly, not just the official noticing in the mail. Okay. So, and if you have any questions about that, you can also contact Soren. Okay. All right. Who do you want to start with?
Mary Hayden.
Mary Hayden. Right here behind Aaron.
I will try and do your purview. My name is Mary Hayden. I live at 2751 Stowe Street, which is about 2 blocks away from downtown. We don't get mail service in Los Olivos, so we go to the post office. Parking is a huge problem in general in Los Olivos, so I'm not talking specifically about this. So we use that alleyway quite a bit to get to the parking behind the post office. I think in general, it looks very beautiful what they're proposing. I'm very concerned about the design of the building, having their lobby facing that alley, and then they're parking over to the side, which sounds like there's going to be a lot of movement on that alleyway, which is very narrow and then difficult to then get to for general public is my primary concern. They currently have 16 parking spaces in that spot or in that area that is where they're going to build a new addition. And it looks like they're losing that as well. So that's also going to impact parking, which I understand is that. But in terms of design, I find it interesting that the lobby is facing the alley and there will be the parking next to the neighboring houses and having the garbage also next to the neighboring houses is a concern.
Okay, thank you very much.
Catherine Rohr.
Hi, Catherine Rohr. I live on Alamo Pintado Road in Los Olivos, between Los Olivos and Ballard. I agree, it's beautiful, and I really appreciate the inn, and I really want it to succeed. And I appreciate the narrow scope of your board's review and jurisdiction. There were a couple of comments made during the presentation by the project proponents that sort of hit my ear oddly. One was that everything here is consistent with the San Ynez Valley Community Plan. And there's no mention of the fact, and I realize this is planning, but it's a reality to spend a lot of money to design this thing and get it approved when we're a special problems area. And this is adding at least 17 more toilets and showers, not to mention kitchens, etc. Additionally, it appears to me that we're replacing a single family residence with a large two-story structure that almost takes up the entirety of the combined parcel. And as a resident, I know that our elementary school is already hanging on by a thread because we don't have enough residents in our community because people are renting out for short-term rentals and replacing things with hospitality uses. And so this, to my mind, takes out another home that's part of our community. I appreciate that this is a lovely place to visit as a tourist, but with 17 new hotel rooms and only 9 parking spaces as a resident, I don't see how that design pencils. I don't see how it is remotely respectful of our community or the neighbors. That street that the new structure will face is already a parking catastrophe because we all adore Lefties and people are coming from every corner of the earth to visit it. But this to me is frankly, and I'm sorry to use this word, I don't mean it to sound offensive, but it's irresponsible to introduce this much more density with no consideration for what's already happening in our town. Finally, I think this seems you're right near ground zero for our contaminated groundwater. And we have a sewer system coming. It sounds like, or at least it sounded the other night, like perhaps the hotel was hoping to be exempted out of our local CSD. From my knowledge, we put in a new leach field at our property a few years ago, and we were not allowed to put our leach field under a place where we were gonna have permanent parking. So I would double check that. I don't work for EHS, and I don't get a commission. And so I would just really encourage you, as beautiful as it is, and when you think about design and whether this sort of design is appropriate, beautiful as it may be, whether it is suited to the location, I think deserves some real consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just to make sure, we do have one more person online. If you'd like to speak, go ahead and raise your hand. We're not gonna require you to do that. It's like, no.
Yeah. And we don't have anybody else here? Okay. All right. Who wants to start?
I can start.
Go for it.
First of all, I have to disclose that I had a short conversation with Mr. Mike Dramer, who's associated with the project concerning trees on the property. I'm really gonna stick to
our purview.
I think that the height, I don't think we actually heard what the height of the buildings is. I'm assuming it's 35 feet, like
it's
32.
32.
It varies, but
Okay.
the lowest one is.
Highest one is 32,
Including the chimneys?
including the projection
Yeah.
like of the barn. Is
Yes,
that the
it's below,
32?
I live about 3 feet at the very peak, I believe.
Okay. I think the site plan, if it conforms to planning, I like the style of the buildings. I am a little concerned about just this kind of whiteness that's, or blackness that's sort of creeping into Los Olivos. And maybe it's where I grew up. Is it, all the white buildings in Vermont, these feel kind of, going white feels a little strange to me out here, but, and the white chimney with the board, that's probably from my childhood too, that, buildings are made of wood and, flues are made of stone or masonry, and wrapping them in wood just seems a little
counterintuitive.
Yeah, counterintuitive to me. I am a little concerned about some of the landscape materials in terms of sort of a year-round feeling. It gets very cold and dark and nothing really happens often, particularly with sages, lavenders, and grasses. have to be cut back and they're not doing anything for 4 or 5 months. So
Can you
just
see the
want
street view?
to be aware of that.
The renderings?
And again, I am curious about the parking. That it
Seems,
it's not our purview, but I will express that I am curious. That's all I have to say.
okay.
I was looking at the entrance to and the connection between the tree alley and the proposed new building, and I was hoping you could consider, probably better to look in plan view.
I'm gonna look at the plan.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
like
this
looking
one.
at the landscape L 0.02. They call them bulb outs, and it's really a weird word, but if you could narrow the connection between the alley and the point where you connect with the next building so that it's traffic calming happens in there, you would shorten the distance that you're crossing the street if traffic will let you do that. I think that would help with the connection and then probably safety. And then,
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, this is Nicole. Could you say that one more time, that last part?
yeah, I'm asking them to narrow the distance in the
She's talking about
alley
this
at
right
the
here.
entrance. Should I point it out, you guys?
And probably that's regulated by.
And
trash,
it's,
fire.
yeah, it's already,
Like total traffic jam.
I know the fire department will say something, but if you can narrow that a little bit, it would calm traffic down a little slower. I think the London plane trees I love, might be too closely spaced, and maybe a smaller tree would be in order.
project.
And, thank you. I think the building is really pretty and, the materials are appropriate. And the one little thing, if you could look at again, the board concrete, the poured in place concrete with the boards, it seems to be a trend and not necessarily consistent with, maybe it's sort of like picking up with what Puck was saying, that planter walls are made out of masonry or something, and the formed in place, board walls feel a little trendy to me. That's my comment. They're pretty.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
I always default to my landscape architect pals and colleagues. However, I will completely echo what she said about the cementness of that, and I would greatly prefer all of those planter boxes to be either clad in sand and stone or something that feels a little bit more historic. I feel that the strength of Maddie's is the architectural consistency. I feel it's difficult as an architect to replicate what's already there. I would prefer if the buildings matched a little closer in architectural style. I don't mind the color patterns on that, but I feel that it would be better as a consistent overall building if they matched closer, especially on the roof lines. The other thing I would say is I go to Maddie's a lot for dinner. Walking in, there's some sort of a mystery of sort of finding their way into the restaurant.
That's Parker.
This is best.
Sorry, oh, sorry.
You're talking about Nellis.
Nellis, sorry. Wherever Nellis, walking into Nellis through the white roses and that whole thing, which brings you into the restaurant area. That clean look might be a problem since it is so windy through there as well. So that's something you might want to consider. The height of those shrubs seem very short to me. And also the fact that most of it has to be cut back because it's seasonal. And the magnolia trees on the front, I believe I will default to my landscape colleagues about being so not water friendly.
Alan?
I just have a basic question. The house that's being replaced, what is the zoning right now on that street? That,
I think it's commercial.
that is commercial on that street, right?
Nicole question, I think.
Nicole?
Apologies, sorry, I was working on the notes. I can go look that up. I would presume it's commercial. It'll take me a minute to look it up though.
Okay, let's
It's
just,
C2, she said.
yeah, C2, okay, let's assume it's C2, okay, that's what I'm saying.
C2.
All right, I have no real comments, I think it's a good project, I am too concerned about the parking, I think it's under park, but that's not our purview. But, as far as Denise, I understand what you're saying about the alley. I don't know how that's going to happen, I don't see how that will
Is
be.
it 17 feet?
Yeah, I don't see how it's gonna happen. And I agree with Christopher on the planter boxes that something more natural looking would be better than cement. That's my comments.
Okay,
Oh, I do have one question.
yeah.
How wide is the alley? The existing street,
I think
how wide is it?
17 feet,
It's 24 feet.
20.
It is 24 feet?
Mm,
Okay, because I drive that alley all the time and it doesn't feel like 24 feet, but if it's 24, that's fine. I mean, that,
Single sheet.
Yeah.
First meeting, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just wonder if that is from,
Where?
Actual-
Yeah.
Pavement.
yeah, like, is the paved area existing right now 24 feet?
I think, right.
It's
22.
22.
Seems smaller.
Okay,
Because right now, there's a lot of plant material that's coming out,
Right.
okay.
Mhm.
so.
That's not there.
Well, that's good.
You can go back down.
That's fine.
What do you guys think about a site visit?
Yes.
If you're paying for dinner, that's good.
No, just site visit. I think it's a good idea.
I think it's very appropriate to have a site visit, given the neighborhood context. That,
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's just due diligence to avoid a lot of gnashing of teeth down the road when it starts or not.
Which brings up your question for story poles, and I'm not sure that this is an appropriate time to do that.
Well, with the site visit, we'll be able to obviously cite where the current roof line is and give it a go on our first round.
I don't know if we'd have to do full story poles because it's a really,
It's a clone.
Can you see the picture of that street again, please?
you know, I think it's more what is facing the
That's the-
neighborhood.
That's
Right.
the,
You know,
that's
what-
the grand.
What are the residents going to be interacting with?
Sit looking at.
Yeah, just to get a comfort level.
Everything to the north of that's gonna be single family there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look much bigger.
Well, to the east. Yeah.
Can I make a comment?
Go up one more, what?
So getting back to my comment about the pony walls and planter boxes, I'm talking about all of them, not just the ones in the interior.
Mhm. Back to the land, number 3. Without changing this one, and then go up one. Okay, and then go back to the renderings. Yeah. I think that for my own, what I would like to start with the site visit is to at least see it staked.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't even think I don't think story poles are they're not gonna help me much at this point.
Staked is a good
Yeah,
idea.
Because
Staked is
there
good,
is so much vegetation that's being removed. I just don't think the story poles are gonna, at this point, do much for me. So, when they return, I'd like to see it come back, for a site visit with a minimum of staking of the perimeter of the proposed structure. And there are, can you go to this one again? There are big moves and there are small moves going on here. In my comments, I mean, not so much the design. Denise is absolutely, I mean, she's put her finger on, for me anyway, the most critical thing right here is that connection across the alley. And whether Denise's suggestion about using the traffic calming or other things, there needs to be something there that strengthens that connection. Because right now, I mean, it's an alley, and especially once you've removed all of the planting, especially on the current Fed Parker side of the alley, it's gonna open up a lot. And I appreciate the public comment about access along that alley and how often it gets used. So I think there needs to be something, because if your guests are going back and forth and the people who live there are going up and down that alley a lot, you've got some issues there. So I think you need to really, and I don't know how you do it, quite frankly, but that is the most critical spot in the whole plan. Not even more so to me than the architecture of the proposed building. I appreciate Chris's comments about it could be closer in some style, particularly the roof line, I think Chris said, with the existing Fest Parker, but I really I'm not that bothered about it, you know, it is what it is. I do, though, very much support Park's comment about this. We are seeing a lot of buildings that come in, they want to be white, or they want to be black, or they want to be white with black trim. And, or black with white trim.
It's like,
I mean, it's like we've gone backwards, right? We're going to black and white. There's no gray now, although I know that's a gray. But my point is that we're really kind of simplifying things dramatically. And I think for me in this project, I think you could get away with simplifying the landscape. The building needs a little more complexity, or you can simplify the building and the landscape needs some more complexity. I think it needs something, both of them being that stark. And I very much appreciate Puck's comments about the particular palette. And obviously, you know, perhaps the landscape is the easier thing to adjust, but even so, it needs something.
It's just like that little lavender alley is gonna look real sad and.
Oh, it's gonna look hideous, actually, beyond sad. But yeah, I think it needs, and you've got some nice warm colors, but I think it just needs, it's still very stark. And
the other thing I was just gonna mention, I mean, I love board form concrete, but in those planter boxes, the LA, which, you know, could be really beautiful, except if you're walking and you bump into it, or kids are messing around, I've like ripped stuff on the little nubs and things on the edges of board form concrete walls. You know, they're not, you'd have to like grind them a little bit or something. It's not a particularly friendly surface for skin.
And you don't wanna lean against it or anything.
Yeah, so I'd support the idea of using some sort of stone or plaster or something else that is a little more user friendly.
So those are kind of my broad comments. The other one is that I can appreciate what you're trying to do with the gravel in the parking lot under the tree and minimizing. You know, you got two approaches, you can go and you can get something that's stable that will then, it'll actually hold that. It'll protect that root zone all the way across the whole planted area, which is what Denise was talking about, with some kind of something in there that helps to keep the gravel in place. To my mind, that's a much more successful solution than just, saying, we're not gonna touch the root zone and then putting gravel, because it'll just get compacted. Especially given the number of spaces that are in that lot, it's gonna get driven in a lot. It's gonna see a lot of use
Are
and.
you talking about the grade that perhaps is a solution?
So,
That,
so
Yeah,
you're
need something.
distributing the weight
Yeah.
with a grid or something.
And it doesn't compact.
right.
That, I echo very strongly Puck's comment about the quantity of parking spaces. It is outside of our purview, but it seems like it's going to have repercussions in the community. And so we're all very interested in how that plays out.
If we are very interested in that, why don't we put an addendum to our minutes?
It'll be in the comments.
So that we can put an
Yeah.
addendum in that gets right to the planning commission.
Yeah. That's how we'll handle it. The other things I have are, mostly housekeeping issues. For example, on the site plan, we see the civil plan and the civil showing us, okay, this is what's here, and it's got the buildings on the site, and this is the main residence, that's gonna be taken out. And then we go to the architecture, and the first thing, and that building's gone. We have no reference. I wanna see where that building is in relation to, or buildings, in relation to what you're proposing on the site plan. There should be at least one plan where things overlap. And this is also to include the tree removals. They should be at least ghosted in, especially on a plan like this. We should be able to see, I shouldn't have to flip back to this page one up to see what's being removed. I shouldn't have to be going like this all the time. So the information needs to be kind of compiled a little bit better. I have some concerns about that leach field under the oak too. But that's just a personal kind of concern. Look forward to seeing what the arborist says. And then, of course, we will have our site visit, hopefully next time. So. Okay, I think I captured all that. So
We have a lot of notes.
we have a lot of notes. Poor Nicole was. Okay, so, I think that's it. I think we got everybody's comments. All right, so that's the end of this. I think we're ready to turn it over to Nicole so that she can show us her thing, and if somebody wants to go outside, I can go. I'm gonna let Lowell know to come back in. So that's it for right now. We're gonna do our house.
No, we're gonna.
But,
I'll tell you that.
no, I would tell one to do the minutes the first two all the way.
It is.
So he doesn't have to come back.
My goodness, yeah.
Got it.
I can't believe we talk about the first two, maybe more than 2 minutes.
Are you texting him?
See,
He's not saying.
Sorry, back for.
It'd be further conceptual. Yeah, because there's a lot to wrap somebody's near, and we're gonna do a site visit and everything. It just seems appropriate to be conceptual. Okay, you want to start with number one?
Yeah, I had on the.
I
consent
think it
item-
was seconded by,
It's either Chris or me.
Wow.
was it you? It was Chris.
The first one?
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
consent item.
Oh, I have, oh.
Oh, so it was, Erickson Lonis.
You're first.
Bad rec call.
Fumble.
And then I had on the condition that they specify lighting of 2700 Kelvin. And I thought there was one other thing.
Oh, the color boards. Provide 2 color boards.
That was a suggestion you had, wasn't it?
Well, they need to provide at least one.
Okay.
So,
Is there a size limit on that, just for my reference?
no. However, I did recommend that they be approximately 8.5 by 11.
Because it goes to the building department. And I'm a CKSO, just FYI.
Did you catch that, Nicole? Erickson Lonis is ERICKSON.
Where is this one coming?
What is
Oh,
that?
this is mine, sorry.
This looks scary.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
I wish I could just erase it, David.
Thank you. You do.
Okay. Then, well, let's get, take into account your next submittal, specifying. Consuming.
I don't have any changes to that
Yeah.
comment.
Okay, number 2,
No, about the action, we should get number
It's
X.
okay, usually,
they do that later,
yeah,
because he takes.
Okay.
Nothing to see here, nothing to see here.
I didn't have any
Uh,
comments from you guys on this one.
This one, the actions will be, cleaned up. That was me again. Let's see, did we have any comments on number 2?
No.
Nope.
I have a question. So these are existing structures already.
Hello.
Why are they coming in front of us?
Because they need a permit.
Oh, they got busted. Good, okay, that's, yeah.
Okay, so now we come on to the difficult
That's why I
one.
got busted.
Okay, that was me. So why don't you move number 3 to the first one?
And I think that it's needs, isn't it? Not need.
Are you building this?
Which,
No, it was.
yeah,
Oh, 500.
well, 2 and 3, I'm holding off on here. Because we need to kind of condense a couple of these and split apart a couple of the others. Number 6 needs to be either number 1 or number 2, I think, because don't you think that connection across the alley?
I think the alley is spoke through
LA or alley?
Well, there's an LA that goes to an alley, so I.
Right.
It is. Yes, she's absolutely correct. She's got it correct. So the tree alley
It's the promenade.
is what connects it. That's what goes across. And that is, it's French. Okay, so. How does everybody feel about number 8? Let's handle the architecture first and then come back to the landscaping.
How strongly do I feel?
I know how you feel.
What was it, who put that in there? Whose idea was that?
Me.
Okay, what is that trying to solve?
So my point, just bringing up Maddie's Tavern, is that their strength is their consistency.
It's best poker.
No,
because-
he's
I'm
talking about
doing a
Maddie's.
comparison.
Yeah,
Uh,
but then
Matt-
we went into Maddie's later, okay.
Right, so Maddie's consistency is the architecture throughout, which I think makes the community seem stronger. This is a building, and then they have a new building that has sort of a barn thing, which I don't understand at all. But I would prefer if there was a similar facade on the new building compared to the old one for consistency.
Okay.
So-
Okay with that.
And I echoed it, so. Don't know that anybody else did, but,
Well, let's see what they do with it. How about that?
how about if we said that we prefer, the style of the buildings were more consistent?
Perfect. Because that's gonna overlay in the direction of the new building.
If the style of the buildings were more consistent.
To
with
each
the
other.
Existing,
Yeah,
because they are consistent, the new.
to
buildings are
themselves, yes, you're right, I was just thinking about how to say that and I hadn't gotten there yet, okay. Okay, so that's that, we've got a bunch of landscaping comments and they tie into architecture too. What is show X on plans PUC?
At the very beginning, and maybe in part of the questions, Puck said there was something that seemed like it was floating and wasn't clearly shown on the plans. It was before you got into the formal comments, but I noted.
Porch of the trees
We're talking about the porch.
of the new porch.
Oh, I think it was, and they did show it. Where there was a note in the project description that said there was 240 feet. of
Right, you can take that out, Nicole.
You can take that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, it was that discussion, okay.
Okay. Take, number 12, the parking, and put it after the site visit comment. Make it the last comment, and we're gonna change it a little bit. Because we're gonna say that we're very curious about the quantity of parking and the size of the proposed and existing hotel. And I think we leave it at that, or is there a better way to say it?
I think you got it.
Will you say that again? 'Cause that's.
The ratio of parking spaces to rooms, but that's what you're saying.
Basically, yeah.
We have 18 rooms.
Well,
17, no.
I think we're concerned about the parking
Quantity.
as it relates to the neighborhood that the buildings are in. Because certainly if this was out in the boonies someplace, we wouldn't care that much. We care, if this building was
How
built,
about this? Concerned about the quantity of parking as it relates to the urban density of the neighborhood, the surrounding neighborhood.
As it relates to the surrounding
right.
neighborhood.
Okay,
and you wanna put something in there that this in particular is brought to the attention of the planning department?
Yeah, I can tell you, I looked at their incomplete letter and a traffic and parking study has been requested. And there was also a comment that the parking area doesn't meet our ordinance requirements in terms of, it doesn't say parking number, but in terms of area. So there's gonna be more info available.
sure. I think this is sufficient. Okay,
Maybe that one,
I think that one can go up, above with, when we start talking about landscaping. I'm just not really, it's very difficult with the number of these. I was trying to separate them out so we have all the landscaping in one screen.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, environmental health will have to review the location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I don't, where do you want that one about the leach field?
just,
I would go back and put the connection, the alley comment to be number 1.
okay,
And then you can put the walls and then you go right into like site work and landscaping.
Okay,
Oh my gosh, it's already November, is our next one.
Yeah, right there. Or, oh no, put number 4.
There's a whole, yeah, there's a whole bunch of landscaping ones.
Yeah, that's an architectural one. So that would be after, yeah.
I guess.
okay, hold on a second here. The connection of the tree alley that connects the two properties across the alley is critical, and needs to be strengthened. Look at narrowing the distance between the tree alley and the building. I would say, look at this within the context of traffic in the alley and the guest experience, and we'll leave it at that.
It's the left side.
It's a safety issue you're talking about.
Yeah.
Say that.
You know who really uses that alley a lot are all the kids in Los Olivos on their EV bikes.
Traffic
They
in the
go
alley
like
and
nuts.
the guest experience. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Or Alan, you had a different.
I would, the guest experience, I mean, we got, in my opinion, we're making things more difficult.
Okay,
I'm
what do
concerned
you
about
think?
if there's a crossing across the street, if there was a traffic light there, we would put this in, right?
People.
So this is, we're worried about safety. The guest
Okay.
experience, you're worried about people looking
So-
at the alley?
So then
It's a safety issue.
take out that whole sentence and say, concerned about the safety of pedestrian traffic crossing the alley.
Mm-hmm, that's good.
So that there's an easier.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're ever gonna give that alley a name. It's just like,
It's a
well,
street.
go across the alley.
You can call it LA.
Alley.
The north-south alley versus the east-west alley.
I've heard a lot of things.
I think you just ended
I
at
got
alley,
one.
period.
I know, I was joking.
Okay,
exactly.
so the color scheme is stark. I think, you know, it seems that I'm not sure about that second part of the comment. That was just my comment, but I think the point is that the color scheme is stark. And I actually skirted around saying, I'd like it to see it warmer.
Well, the front of the building looks, if you look at the front of the building, I wasn't here when it was built. It looks, you could almost say it looks like homes or whatever. It doesn't look like a barn.
In the water.
The new building, even though it's bigger and taller, it looks like more industrial. And I think if they could make the side that's on that street look more like the front,
Yeah.
that's what I think we were shooting
It's
for. with
got
that
a-
comment for.
It's just pretty predictable,
That's a good point.
you know?
Okay.
I mean,
Now, guys,
that's
we need to go back to what we said.
I know.
Dang.
Okay, so what we said was, and Chris was the one who said it. Can you help me keep this on? I just need to get through these, yes.
There.
So, back to the color scheme and the fact that it doesn't, it's not tying in as, well as it would if, and then back to your comment, if the architecture
Mhm.
was consistent.
Then let's print that.
With the existing.
Yeah, that's what you just did.
I know it's not as fun for an architect to build something exactly like
The
that,
color scheme seems dark and lacking, and,
but they might give themselves a favor.
I think we would prefer the style, and I don't think we need if, we would prefer the style of the buildings were more consistent to the existing structures. And, that the starkness of the color scheme be less so.
The style will closely be more varied.
Okay, either way, I don't
Either
care,
way
as
makes
long as we express it as what we said. I was trying to keep it with what we actually, in
I
keeping
didn't
with
hear
what
the
I.
last.
No, this is just a,
Okay.
that the color scheme be less stark.
And more varied.
Okay. And I think then you can take out number 3 entirely.
What?
Okay.
All right,
What
now,
was number 3? Well,
It's the same. I agree with Bethany on that.
okay, yeah.
okay, yeah, out, okay. So now then the port in place, we did that one. So now we're in the landscaping.
I don't remember anyone saying grasses.
No,
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't.
You did.
not grasses.
Yeah, you did.
I thought you guys were saying when they were talking about compaction that there was that grass was better and spread out the compaction more than gravel, but maybe I heard it wrong.
No, we did not say that.
Oh, what were you, what were you saying was you wanted instead of gravel?
I had no comment about that.
We were talking about cells,
Yeah, just
the use of
the gravel cells.
Gravel
Oh.
cells. To distribute weight. To protect the roots.
What's a gravel cell?
It's like these honeycombs.
I think what you can say there is,
So like that, is it just person was recommended?
I would say some sort of,
Bad name.
because we didn't actually.
Maybe we just say, that
the use of gravel alone under the trees,
should be further studied.
yeah.
Would we say that if we like the gravel?
We like the gravel. We had nothing to do with the gravel, wrong with the gravel. We just didn't like it, just gravel. It needs some structural support under the tree.
Then why don't we put that in there?
Well,
Well, that's what
Direction.
you could say, should be further studied.
With regard to
Because unsupported gravel will become
compacted.
compacted,
And that's bad for the trees.
leading to tree damage. Or
There we go. That's fine there, what she's got.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, so number 6 is kind of picking up when we'd already started talking about the simplification of the landscape for both lots. So, so if we're saying, hold on a second, where did we have, where we're talking about the simplicity of the landscape? Did we already axe that completely? Yeah, we did. Okay, so, so number 6, you could start off number 6 by saying, this is a very simplified landscape that includes, how do we want to say it? The simplification of the area in front of the existing hotel.
it's down there. You've got that comment, number 8.
And that's just talking about the restaurant though, and I'm talking about the whole thing as it wraps around, because they've done more than,
Okay,
okay? You could say the landscaping, the proposed landscaping is very simplified. Let's see, and we have concerns about that with relation to what would you say, Puck, the appearance of it year round, or,
I would say his concerned about the seasonality.
okay,
selected landscape materials.
I think that's closer to what we said.
Yeah. Okay. And then in addition, the way that the landscaping in front of the existing portion of the hotel is to be simplified so as to complement the proposed landscape is also of concern. And then you can go right into number 8.
Bethany, I'm sorry, is there a simple way of saying?
In addition, the landscaping, you could say existing landscaping associated with the hotel. Now I've lost it.
Well, what are you just in like plain language, what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that the existing landscaping in front of the Fest Parker Hotel as it exists right now, they're gonna run through and just completely simplify it to match what they're proposing. And this creates a whole series. We have a similar consideration.
I don't think we really said that we disagreed with that strong hedge in front. We were just.
No, I don't have a problem with the hedge. I don't have a problem with the forms. I had a problem with the concept and the mix. That's what we were.
You don't think it's captured with that year-round landscaping? And then
we could just, how about if we just say, this applies to the proposed landscaping in front of the existing portion of the hotel. That captures the existing, okay? This applies. Yes, okay.
Just very nice little sign up.
So now you go into 8
Instead of.
and does 8 really apply? Because we've kind of captured that above, right? Without being super specific.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that consider a smaller tree than the London plane tree and consider spacing
Why? Like, why are we asking them to consider a smaller tree?
There's space 12 feet apart?
They weren't on the plan. They're not anywhere close to 12 feet apart.
What are they?
Like
8?
Yeah, it was a lot. They're pretty darn close together.
Can you plant them that close together? And I mean,
well, you can pollard them. I mean, you know, that's
They're
the
in a-
thing
they're in
with
a planter
plants. You
box.
can do all kinds of things with plants, but are they going to? I don't know.
Well, what she said was consider a smaller tree or consider spacing the planters out. That was Denise's comment.
yeah. And then I guess if they did maintain them as.
Maybe say spacing of London plane trees is a concern. Consider smaller tree or increase spacing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's.
I mean, if they
what
want
people
it to
say.
be a natural tree, I guess.
You don't need to say why,
Yeah.
or consider spacing the trees further out
Well, nobody's gonna say that.
Mm-hmm.
Just figure that.
or further apart, whatever.
Right. so,
Okay,
I mean, I
does
love-
that capture it?
Yeah,
Okay, are we okay with that?
a little space between plane and tree for fun.
Okay.
I did Google that and it said it was one word.
Why?
Really?
London flame.
Google did, Google could be wrong.
I will.
It's not, it's 2 words. She's
It
right.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 8 and 9 seem like they could be combined.
Yeah, I would just.
Yeah, well, I don't think that the owners of the property would consider it a pleasant mystery. It's a pain in the ass that people walk into the restaurant with suitcases.
That's not what that's talking about.
It's about keeping what they have.
That's talking about the actual experience of entering the restaurant, not the fact that the 2 are confused.
I think they could change the entry until still keep the sort of whimsical feeling of the planting.
I really like the planting you have there now. Why not a nice little sign, lobby?
I have that now. It doesn't work.
Well, I mean, they are changing
They're moving the lobby.
they're moving the lobby. So there's gonna be some landscape
Yeah.
changes, but they could reinforce the existing landscape rather than just redo the whole thing.
Yeah, I think,
I mean,
What did we say?
that's
Okay.
okay.
Exactly.
What did we
I
say?
felt like we were gonna have to redesign that.
Then I think to avoid confusion, we did talk about, maybe we can add a comment above number 8. That talks about the need and, what they're proposing, because we did acknowledge that they're trying to keep people from going to the restaurant instead of the lobby.
But
And
when they do the new change, the new lobby, it's gonna be pretty obvious.
It'd be much further apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that'd be good.
okay, just take out that 8 that you just put in, Nicole. There we go.
Maybe something 9 with the arborist report.
This is the only project where I didn't say, we didn't go, I didn't say something about, you need to check your fire zones. So,
well, we'll let that shake out.
yeah,
Are there some magnolias that are not high water use?
No.
Then why do we have them might be high water use?
I think that note should say, verify,
You're allowed to ask for variance based on cultural conditions, but west facing in Los Olivos isn't gonna get you any points in your Muello calc, so.
Are there a lot of?
I think you could just say, note that, magnolias are high water use and may not fit the proposed scheme of planting.
Are there lots of magnolias on Grand?
Maybe 2 or 3.
That doesn't qualify.
2 or 3 in there in front of the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, we said site visit for, building. I'd say that the proposed, site visit with the proposed building perimeter staked.
Yeah, that's great.
I think you could take out 12 and just leave 13. Does that work? Let's look back through them and see if we like them. And then say if we need to add anything. Did we miss something?
Is it actually called board formed concrete? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, it is.
Instead of poured in place with boards, maybe it's.
It's board formed concrete commonly.
So Nicole, I guess that would be board formed.
Anything else? Does it all look good? Everybody's happy? This
Good.
reflects what we said?
Yeah, looks good.
All right, thank you, Nicole. That was very difficult.
Thanks, Nicole.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Ooh, that was close.
Who you wanna call it? Whose birthday is it?
I would say that it was Denise by
Okay.
a split second.
I already had a win.
All in favor? Thank you, Lowell, for coming back. I know it was a long time to wait.
It's fine, I was catching up on the stuff.
That was fun.
Is there an October surprise? Can you surprise?
Today, yeah.
Oh, God.
Tell what's happening, it's gonna tank.
Well, did the parking, Joe Hartman was gonna have that parking meeting in Los Olivos, did that happen?
He's got to stop the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens in the stock market? We have another.
Well,
And we crashed again, the stock market?